Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Engineering Textbook, a place where you will get conceptual knowledge of every aspect of engineering. So let's continue with our subject, strength of material. Today we will study in detail about stress strain curve. Description of stress strain curve. So based on application of stress, various points are created in stress strain curve. Points in stress strain curve are as follows: proportionality limit, elastic constant, upper yield point, lower yield point, ultimate strength, fracture or break point. Proportionality limit. All the metal behave like an elastic material up to a specific range. It means after the application of stress, the material return back to its original dimension or shape. The point up to which material behave its proportionality is called proportional limit. This proportional limit depends on the following: type of material, material strength, grain size, working temperature, and corrosion. In proportional limit, there is no permanent deformation and the material behave like a spring. Young's modulus of elasticity. When machine pulls the object at the end, the object experiences tensile stress up to proportional limit. It obeys Hooke's law, and the ratio of stress and strain is constant. This constant is called Young's modulus of elasticity. Hence, Young's modulus of elasticity is defined as the ratio of stress to strain within the proportional limit of a material. If Young's modulus is more, force required will be more. The following table shows the Young's modulus values of few common materials. Steel has 200 into 10 raised to 9 Newton per meter square. Copper has 110 into 10 raised to 9 Newton per meter square. Iron has 91 into 10 raised to 9 Newton per meter square. Brass has 91 into 10 raised to 9 Newton per meter square. And glass has 55 into 10 raised to 9 Newton per meter square. Elastic limit. When tensile force is increasing further, stress will increase beyond the proportionality limit. After this limit, a small portion of stress strain curve acts elastically. That means in this region, if tensile stress is removed from material, it will return to its original length. In this portion, relationship between stress and strain deviates, and so it does not obey Hooke's law. The strain is increased at a faster rate with respect to stress. A mild faltering region is created on the curve. Removal of tensile stress, metal return its original length. The change in length within its elastic limit is temporary. Yield strength and yield point. If we increase tensile force on metal further, tensile stress will increase and material will cross elastic limit and starts to deform or yield. This point where deformation start is called yield point, and stress which creates this deformation is known as yield strength. It is maximum stress beyond which elongation becomes plastic. Beyond this point, permanent deformation starts. In this yield strength point, with a very little application of loads, results in large deformation. Below the yield point, material can return back to its original length if load is removed. The yield point is of two types. First is upper yield point and second is lower yield point. In case of upper yield point, stress requirement are maximum for starting of plastic deformation, and in case of lower yield point, lower stress required to maintain plastic deformation. After the yield strength, Hooke's law is deviated and different material acts differently. To avoid this problem, a new term, proof stress, is introduced. Proof stress is nothing but a parallel line to straight portion of stress strain curve at strain value of 2%. Ultimate tensile strength. The ultimate tensile strength is maximum stress value before its failure, and it is the highest stress value in any curve. It is denoted by UTS. It's basically maximum resistance to fracture. Ultimate tensile strength can be precisely for all kind of material. Ultimate tensile stress is also used as a main stress for brittle materials design calculation. Plastic behavior. After elastic region, elasticity of material is lost and strain hardening region in curve started. At yield strength point, plastic deformation starts. Once material is taken out from the machine, it will not be able to return to its original shape and size. Strain hardening. Material experience a very high rate of plastic deformation after yield point. After ultimate tensile strength, ductile material can be able to support load up to a very small extent. Once material yield, strain hardening starts. It increases strength of a material. Strain hardening is seen between yield point and ultimate tensile strength. Brittle material may not have yielding behavior, that means strain hardening is not applicable. In strain hardening, molecules are obstructing each other and rearranged. This rearrangement helps the metal to increase its strength. Necking. Necking means simply a formation of neck. When plastic deformation continues with increasing tensile stress, material starts to form its neck, that is, nerving its cross section. This phenomena is called necking. Neck formation happens at weakest point of a material. Starting point of necking gives us ultimate tensile strength of a material. Fracture. In the necking region, plastic deformation happens, and in this region of stress strain curve, no need to increase load further to experience plastic deformation. A fracture occurred at neck. The point at which fracture happens is known as fracture point. Fracture creates two shapes, first a cup and second a cone at either end. Fracture point is denoted by E on stress strain curve.
So, guys, that's all for today. For more such videos, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.